Dollar yen fell over 400 pips last week, leading to one of the biggest weeks that we've seen in a while. And I'm looking to see, will that continue going into this week? Now, from a fundamental perspective, the US dollar is at the forefront of the fundamentals this week. There is CPI data out this week. We also have PPI and retail sales coming out. We also have the consumer sentiment and the Empire State Manufacturing Index. So really important data coming up, especially as we are heading to the all-important March meeting where the Federal Reserve are expected to hold interest rates, but give forward projections on what they see is the state of the economy in the near future. Will they cut rates in the summer? Will they not cut rates in the summer? And what action will be taken? Now, obviously, if we do start to see weaker data that we have been seeing out of the US in recent times, that could then compound the need for the Federal Reserve to cut rates a lot sooner than anticipated, which will obviously lead to a little bit more of that dollar weakness in the market. However, if we start to see good data out of the US, it could put a hold on what the Federal Reserve plans to do in the future. Now, going on to US dollar yen at the moment, very interesting market. Obviously, we came up towards those 51.80s. We failed to kind of breach anywhere above 150.70s, and we've continued to sort of trade lower here. But now we've come into a key area. We've come into the 146.25, and I always ask myself the question, if I do want to get short this market, where's the best place to get short? Well, my theory is always looking to sell at highs and buy down towards lows. Now, if I go into the daily chart here, I look at this and I think, where's a good place to be a seller in terms of risk and reward ratios? Do I think it's a good idea to be a seller right at support? Absolutely not. I would rather see price come up higher first in order to then try and take advantage of the market. Now, obviously, price is still trading above the 200 daily moving average. That can be seen as a positive in the market, but we are also trading at this level. So I like the idea of being short because that weekly is bearish. We've seen a lot of bearish data in the US. Can that continue? If it does, I feel like then the dollar could continue to fall. But where could we look at those interesting areas? So if I go down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we're kind of holding here towards this 147 area at the moment. Now, price is kind of finding a little bit of a consolidation forming here. That means that there's volume being built up in here at the moment. Now, if we break out of volume, price could go up to the next area of volume. Now, for me, that's towards this sort of 148 handle. Okay, I like the idea of price potentially coming up to these previous kind of 4-hour highs, reject, and then continue on its way to the downside. So for me on dollar yen, anything around 148 and above, you can see I've marked in sort of 148.35 there as well. That is obviously a zone from the higher time frame. So if we can get anywhere near that, I think it could be an ideal area to look for opportunities. Now, obviously, if the landscape is the fact that the US dollar is going to continue to weaken and we are creating this volume here, what could happen is price trades below that volume 146.25 and then continues to trade down to the next area of support, which is all the way down at 143.75. So it'd be interesting to see, how does the US dollar yen develop in and around this area? Do we see the breakout of volume for a move to the higher area, or do we see a breakout of volume to the downside and see that continuation lower? Obviously, the higher time frames at the moment favoring that downside pressure. Lots of selling momentum coming in and a lot of buying of yen coming in at the moment, which was something that was reflected on the currency strength meter last week. So we'll see if this can continue. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.